You are now about to experience the Revive Effect. I'm your host, Matt Celestio, and if you want to learn to master your mind, get the body you want, and create the life you've always wanted to live, you are in the right place. At Revive, my mission is to create a better way of living for our generation by challenging the current ways we live every day. And in each episode, I bring you a radically different approach to fat loss, a fresh perspective on life, and a new way of living to help you get to where you truly want to be in life. So kick back and let's jump into it. Welcome to the Revive Effect. Okay, are you someone who struggles to find their motivation for the things that you want most in life? You want the better body, you want the confidence, the better health, you want better sleep, but yet we stay unmotivated, we stay undisciplined, and we fall off track of the goals that we want most in life. So why is it that we struggle so much to make our vision a reality? And this is a question that plagues us so much. And that's why in this episode, my intention with my special guest, Arsh Dhindsa, we're gonna take you from somebody who's feeling stuck, unmotivated, unhappy, and launch you into someone who's more confident. They find that passion within them and ignite their motivation to go after your goals. So what you need to know about Arsh, he is the owner of such a massively impactful company that he rallies behind called Relieve Online Coaching. Okay, so if you look up the definition of motivation in the dictionary, you're gonna find Arsh's name. Right? He's such a purpose-driven coach, right? He's so passionate about helping others, and he's one of the most consistent people I know, right? We go to the same gym, and I go there almost every day, and I go at 5 a.m., which is pretty early. Arsh is there every day before me getting it done. So he is such an inspiration, and we're so grateful to have him on the show today. And his mission is to get this, help 1 million people live pain-free through fitness. Now that's powerful. It's powerful stuff. So he's so inspirational. He's helped over 110 people lose 15 pounds and 3 inches in just as little as 16 weeks. So we're so grateful to have him on the show today because we get to pick his brain, we get to learn his secrets, and we're gonna learn how to discover to chase the fire and our goals within ourselves. So Arsh, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for coming out.
Dude, appreciate you for having me, man.
Yeah, man, I'm excited to get going. How you feeling?
Feeling great, dude. Like I came in, I'm like, yo, this setup is sick. Dude, the backdrop is sick. The place is sick. I was like, yo, I'm full of energy right now and freaking excited to be here.
Motivated, man. That's it. The topic of the episode.
Hell yeah, dude.
So today, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, what we're going to cover is the biggest the biggest question that plagues us all, which is, why are you so unmotivated? We have all these things in our lives that help us be more productive, yet we don't make the change. So that's topic number one. And then we're going to jump into why willpower and motivation is a load of BS and what you need to focus on instead. I know, pretty crazy topic considering we're talking about motivation today. And lastly, we're going to jump into how the quick fix era and diet culture that you live in is ruining your motivation. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. So motivation is a huge problem, I find personally, with a lot of people. And we live in a time with so many productivity apps, self-help blogs, and we have so much information online, Arsh. So we stay miserable, tired, and endlessly stuck in our lives. So what's going on? And that's why I wanted to dive into today's first topic and get your opinion is, where do you think people's lack of motivation comes from?
Oh, well, first, you got to look at your life, right? Like what you go through, and obviously everyone goes through, everyone has their ups, everyone has their downs. And motivation to me is like a spark.
Really?
Right? It's not something you should look for in order to do something. It's like going to work. Right? No one wants to wake up every single day at the same time. You rather sleep in some days, right? If you're looking for motivation to wake up, you're never going to wake up.
You'll never find it, right? Yeah.
You'll never find it, right? Certain times you got to go to work because you have to pay your bills. There's certain things that go on with it. And that's why you can't just rely on motivation alone. You need discipline. Right?
Discipline.
So discipline is a key thing, right? Motivation starts everything. Don't get me wrong, right? Motivation are, hey, look, I gotta lose weight. That's your motivation, right? Maybe you're losing weight because you're trying to impress someone, or you want to get with someone, right? That's usually the start for most people.
Yeah.
Right. As dudes, that's usually the start.
As soon as the breakup hits, I gotta get in the gym, right?
So I gotta get in the gym. Not even the breakup. Maybe I want to look good, or I want to attract certain people, right? The first thing is, all right, let me go to the gym. That's your motivation.
Right there.
Right. And then maybe something else, that's going to be your motivation, right? And everyone's motivation is a little bit different.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
It just depends on where it means, like how much it means to you.
Where the reasons behind your actions coming from.
Exactly.
More or less.
Yeah.
Powerful answer, buddy. Powerful answer. So now let's talk about social media culture again, because we see influencers every day. They push this gym, they push these supplements, they push these plans, right? So it creates this belief in our heads that, we need to go to the gym to lose weight. We need to be on a shred program. And people do this even if they hate all these things, right? That's just the belief system that's been ingrained in us. So my question to you is, what advice would you give to someone who thinks they need to go to the gym or they need to go on this crazy restrictive diet to get the body that they want?
Well, it goes to like what everyone else is doing, right? Like they forget it's easy, right? Like, oh, that person lost 20 pounds. How did they lose 20 pounds? Okay, I'm gonna do the same thing that they did, right? Maybe they went on keto and it worked for them, right? Like keto's usually the one. Okay, I gotta lose weight. I'm gonna cut out carbs. No carbs for me. I can't do it.
Done. Yeah.
That's usually the first thing. For a lot of people, I'll tell you, like 99% of the people, they can't do it, right? You need your carbs.
Yeah.
Right. It's like being born without something, right? Like it's not gonna happen, right?
Yeah.
You're born with certain things, right? Like and carbs are part of it. So if your body's born with it, well, how are you gonna take something out and be like, all right, this is gonna work?
Yeah.
If it does work, it's only gonna be for a short period of time. And honestly, when I get that question too, one thing you should focus on is, hey, can I do this like next week? Start with that. Not even like next 5 years, 10 years. Start with, can I do this till next week? If your answer is no, then this is probably not for you.
Wow. I never thought about it like that. Just not, it's not even that far ahead. Just next week.
Just next week. Can you do this next week? Or can you do this tomorrow?
Tomorrow, even, yeah.
Even tomorrow. Can you do this tomorrow? If you can't, if you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, you do.
If you can't do it, don't do it.
Don't do it. And that's, what, speaking of keto, man, like just bringing back some personal stories. I've had friends that go on keto, see remarkable results.
Dude, I've been on keto.
Oh, you have?
Dude, I've done keto like 2-3 times. This was when I didn't know how to lose weight.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, oh, people are getting rid of carbs? All right, I'll do it too.
No problem.
Because you hear it, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, this person lost 30 pounds on keto for like 3 months. I'm like, 3 months? Dude, I got to lose like 40, 50 pounds. All right, let's see how this works. I'll be on it for like a month. Yeah, I'll lose like 15 pounds. Miserable though.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like I can't sleep. My energy's low.
You're missing the carbs, yeah.
I miss my body was looking weird too, right? Like I'll still be like skinny fat.
Yeah.
You know, like everything's shrinking, but my stomach's not really going anywhere, you know? Like I'm losing fat, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't look right.
No.
You know, so.
But again, that's the system that was ingrained within you, right? You just go keto.
Just go keto. What is everyone else doing? Oh, keto. Okay, hours of cardio. Maybe fasting, intermittent fasting.
Try it out.
Right? Like, okay, let's try it out and see if this works. For most of the times, people tend to resort back to it if something's not working.
They go back to keto or whatever they first tried.
Intermittent fasting, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Because they know, okay, maybe this will work. Or maybe because I lost weight doing this, so let's go back to doing this again. When we know if it's not sustainable, what's the point of doing it?
What's the point of doing it? Oh, amen to that.
For me, it's like this is gonna be a part of your life. You know, it's not a part of your life for temporary reason, right? Okay, next 4 months, what are we gonna do, right? This is what I ingrain in my clients too. It's about, okay, the rest of your life. I know you're here for like 4 months, 6 months, 12 months, but I'm taking you through like different techniques where you can implement in your life, so that way you know. Right, like your life's gonna get busy, your schedule is gonna be busy. How can we incorporate that into that?
Yes, sir.
So once they actually like come together, dude, like now you're like, okay, now I lost 20 pounds. Now I'm gonna keep the next. Now the weight's never gonna come back.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, even if it comes back 1 to 5 pounds, that's nothing.
You gotta know how to handle that.
You know what the next step is. It's not, all right, let me go to keto. Let me go all the extreme, you know? Like,
oh, man.
You're never going to get to that point.
No, I love that you said that, man, because what I really want to hammer home, even with my audience as well, and like you just said, it totally reflects exactly what I'm about to say, is the goals of personal trainers or nutritionists or whatever, it shouldn't be to give people a plan. It shouldn't give, just a meal plan, follow these steps or whatever. The goal should be to foster that intrinsic motivation and that knowledge to know how to take care of yourself. You're not going to be with your clients when they're 60, 70. Maybe, but you know what I mean? You're not going to be there to hold your hand the whole time. So to give them that power, like to them, absolutely powerful, man. Really, really powerful stuff. So speaking of that whole social media, the whole influencer culture, and what we're just brainwashed with every day, there's nothing wrong with a society that, offers what a model of a good life should look like. and, nice body, good job, nice house, whatever the case may be. But if we never take a step back to say, is this what I truly really want? Or is it just because somebody else is telling me what I want? You know what I mean? So I truly believe a lot of people are so unmotivated and they don't have the spark for their goals is because they're chasing the lives everybody else is telling them to live. They're chasing the goals, desires, dreams, whatever else somebody's telling you else to live. So my question to you, it's a personal one. Have you ever chased a goal or vision just because either your parents or friends or society had told you to because, quote unquote, that's what you should do? And yeah,
dude, all the time.
All the time.
When I was younger, I didn't know where my life was headed. Right? Like, I'll be honest with you too. I'll open up a little bit. Like, I grew up, right? Like high school. Hold on, let's start off with middle school, high school. I grew up bullied, right? Like, I grew up, like, hey, this guy sucks, or hey, look at this guy, he's overweight. Like, you get called names, like, hey, look at this fat, or like, like you get called names. And it's not good, right? It comes from hate. And then I grew up with depression, right? Like, I still deal with mental health, right? I have a therapist that guides me through it, especially with daily life. But like that, right? That I grew up with that because I'm like, okay, let me try to please everyone, right? Like, let me look a certain way, so that way that person is like, okay, this person's good, because you're never picked on if you have six-pack or you're jacked. You're never picked on.
Never picked on.
Right? Like, I was always that person, like, hey, this. Then, like, when I was overweight, I lost a lot of weight, and then I was super skinny.
Okay.
So it's never like, oh, this guy lost a lot of weight, look at this guy. It's like, oh, now you're skinny. Now you don't look good. What's going on? Right? So it's never like I came from, like, a happy place. So the things I did, it was more so like, okay, let me do this for my mom. All right, let me do this for my dad. Let me be an engineer.
That's another thing doctor, too. Yeah.
Right? To make them happy. I never wanted to do it.
Did you go to school for that?
It's like, no, I didn't go. I didn't go to school for that. But you know how in high school, like, your teacher's like, okay, what do you want to do? Because then you got to apply for university. You got to apply for college. What do you want to do? I don't know, engineer or a doctor. You
just pick. Yeah.
I didn't know what I wanted to do. Right? I just said that because my mom's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be an engineer? My dad's like, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna be a doctor?
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't know what I was gonna be. Right? But growing up, like, because I was bullied, because I had depression, I had thoughts of not living past 24.
Wow. Right?
Not even that number. It's more so like, I'm not going to live, so it doesn't matter. I did things to please them, and I'm out.
That's it.
And that was everything I did up until 24. It was for selfish reasons, yes. But it's for, like, okay, I'm not going to live, so what's the point?
And you're doing it for other people.
I was doing it for other people.
Not for yourself.
Because I'm like, hey, I'm not going to be here anyway, so what's the point? But that's me, right? Like, like that's why when it's like, when you ask me, like, motivation, I'm like, I don't really know if I do things because of motivation. Like, I don't think I'm motivated.
No, you don't.
I don't think I'm motivated. Like, I don't want to wake up at 3.
Yeah, you wait, ladies and gentlemen, Arsh wakes up at 3 a.m. every day. It's when he gets his day started. So I just wanted to mention that.
Dude, like, when I was telling you, like, I go to bed at like 8, 8:30.
Yeah.
Sometimes 9 if I'm like,
you're feeling spicy.
If I'm like, yo, let me finish this a little bit longer. It takes a little bit longer. I'm like, hold on, let me sleep at 9. But I never want to be like, yo, let me wake up at 3 and do this, right? Let me take my dog out.
Yeah.
It's freaking freezing outside right now, dude. Do you think I want to wake up at 3 and take my dog out to go do his thing?
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I'd rather lay in bed. I don't think that's motivation. Like, it's discipline. Because I have goals now, right? Like, I want to help 1 million people. When you ask me that, you're like, what's your goal? I'm like, dude, let's aim big. Let's go 1 million.
Why aim small?
Like, for me, it was like, when I started, I'm like, I just want to help, like, one person, When you have that mindset, I still do, right? Anytime someone messages or reaches out to me, like, yo, I want help, I'm thinking I'm changing this person's life.
Yeah.
That's all I care about. I'm not thinking, this is going to add on to that. I'm not thinking about that.
No.
That's going to happen by itself, right? But the only thing I can focus on what I do today, and then what I do tomorrow, that's tomorrow.
And
right?
Just stay consistent.
Even if I say even if I mess up on, like, a diet, or, like, I told myself I was going to go for, like, 50,000 steps, or I'm going to take 15,000 steps.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, say I've messed up on a diet, I'm like, okay, let me get back. The next meal is going to be pretty good.
And just stay consistent with it.
Instead of me saying, okay, whatever, I'll start on Monday again.
And start on Monday. That's the classic line.
Like, today's, what's today, Saturday?
Yeah.
Dude, let's start Monday. Like, what?
Start
we
now.
still have, like, the next meal we gotta eat. We still have...
The next meal, yeah, like you said.
It's like, why the whole day? You're gonna waste a whole day just because of that?
The whole day. And that even goes back, man, to what you said. Like, when you're trying to implement a framework or whatever, can you do this next week or tomorrow? Like, you can go as early as the next meal, man.
I think I forgot your question, but I don't
No,
know if I answered it. I just went in, like, a circle.
No,
but...
man, still, it's great. It's great or great inspiration as well. But I want to tie it back because the question was, like, did you chase a vision or goal that, just because your parents or friends or whatever said?
Oh.
So you did answer that, but I want to ask how you kind of broke free from that mentality.
Oh, dude, like, that's a tough one,
It
right?
is,
Like that mentality, especially because you're gonna doubt yourself, right? Like, you're your worst critic.
Oh, of course.
Well, I can't do this. And I got in my head a lot, right? Like, I'm a bad coach because I compare myself to some other coach I saw.
Yeah.
Or I'm not jacked enough to be a coach, like, because you see a lot of, like, Instagram people or, like, trainers. Like, I don't look like that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like, oh man, you get in your own head, and that kind of prevents you from even starting in the first place. Right? And I kind of know I have my morning routine that I stick to, like, every single day. Or if I don't, my days tend to, I know, like, I'm not feeling it, right? Like,
It starts early, yeah.
Well, I feel like crap, or man, mentally I'm not there, right? And that kind of messes up my whole day, especially with the things that I do. If there's no intention with the things I do, my whole day's ruined.
It starts early, man, yeah.
It starts early, right? It starts with tackling those things, right? I feel like a lot of people don't want to sit and actually address what they're going through.
Man, I'm so happy that you said that because the literal next question I want to talk about and ask you about is motivation and fear and how they go hand in hand, because they really do. Now, like, if for you listeners right now, if you want a good body but you fear the fact that you're going to fail again, and it's just going to kind of confirm what you think to be true, right? It was kind of like, if I try this and I fail, I'm kind of screwed. And like you said, you get in your head, and mastering your mind, gaining control over your behaviors, I believe that's what can really separate someone from, not being successful, staying in fear, not making a change, and somebody who's the, top titan of their firm or top titan of the industry, whatever it is. So my question to you now is, what are 3 things you would tell someone who is scared of making a change because of fear of growth or fear of failure or fear of change so they can find the motivation within them?
Number 1 is what is it going to hurt if you do it? Like, if you don't do it, you already failed. If you do it, and if you fail, like, at least you tried, right? It's like asking out a girl. In your head, you're playing, I should have asked her out. I should have done this. What if we were together by now? But if you don't ask, it's always a no.
Yeah.
But if you ask her, she said, I'm down, let's do it. Now you're like, sick.
Yeah.
Right? See how your life just turned?
Yeah.
By just asking or by just doing it?
Shift in perspective.
It's just shifting your perspective, right? So it's taking that step, no matter what, right? Like, if you don't do it, so what? Right? Like, say if you do it, you fail, you learn, right? You always learn from your failures, right? Like, you fail the exam, you know how the exam is, so now next time you know what you gotta focus on, right? Because exams usually never change. The question changed, but the way they ask never changes, right?
No.
So that's number 1.
Okay.
Right? Just do it.
Just do it, or even shift the perspective that like, what do you have to lose?
What do you have to lose?
If you're already there. Beautiful first one. So continue. Go ahead, man.
So that would be the first one, hands down. Just freaking do it, right? Like,
Yeah.
nothing, nothing to lose. Number 2 would be, hey, what's stopping you from doing it? Like, do you have the fear of, what if I fail, right? Like, what if something happens? I'm like, oh man, I don't know what to do. It's like that happens with everything, right? Like, you going to school for 4 years and trying to get this job. What if that job doesn't work out? So you just wasted 4 years? So you're telling me that, like, if someone told you the first year, like, hey, you can't get this job, would you quit? Most people will, because you told me I can't get it. So what's the point of going through the 4 years, So it's the same mindset, right?
Yeah.
It's like going through that. I don't know what I was trying to say there, but...
No, I get what it always goes back to mindset, because that's where a lot of motivation, consistency, discipline comes from. Your mind controls your behaviors, absolutely.
So, like, everything's like in your head, right? Like,
Yeah.
we tend to get in our head more than obviously someone else, and we care too much about, like, what others are doing, right? Like okay, what they did. I'm not there yet, so I can't really do that. So right. So number 2 would be stop comparing yourself.
That's a big one. That's a real big one.
Stop. Right? Like, I've done it so many times, dude. Like, I struggle with it, where it's like, I can't really do what that coach does because maybe I don't have that expertise, or maybe like that person's like 40, I'm sitting here at 27, like maybe like I shouldn't be doing this, you know?
And you still have all these amazing achievements under your belt, and you still yet.
I still, yeah.
That's the thing.
I still like every day where I'm like, hold on, I'm not a good coach. Like
You think that, eh?
Like that's why like it's like a fear, right? Like maybe I'm not good. Maybe it's like what do you call it? Where you compare and like
Oh my goodness, I know what you're trying to say.
Where
though,
you're
man.
scared of like, you know, where you feel like you're not a good like
It's self-critique, man.
self-critique
or whatever it
yeah,
is.
Yeah, I don't know what that word is.
Yeah.
But I feel that, right? Like, is it like fraud almost?
A little bit, yeah.
Like a fraud where it's like maybe they know I'm not a coach, you know? Like
yeah.
it's almost like that where it's like it kind of pushes me to be like, okay, I gotta keep learning. I gotta keep doing this,
Which is good, yeah.
which is good, right? You always gotta, you know, expand and you know, further advance your knowledge or whatever you do. If you don't have a passion, you're never gonna do that. Take those extra steps.
Yeah, man.
Because I feel like I'm at this point where you don't have anyone telling you, hey, you gotta do this.
You're the boss.
Hey, you gotta do this.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta be like, all right, you know what? Like, how can I, like, the one question I go through first thing in the morning, how can I make this person's life easy today?
That's good.
Easy today. That's it. Like, what can I do to make sure this person is supported and feels like, hey, I'm ready to crush it today. I'm ready to make the best decisions today than did yesterday. How can I do that? So for me, it's like, okay, let me see what we can do, right? Like, everyone's gonna be a little bit different.
Of course, yeah.
Right? So from that mindset alone, that's what pushes me too. But it's the fear pushes me too.
Oh, of course.
I never want to go back where I was like yesterday, you know?
Yeah.
So in a way, fear is good, right? Like,
fear is good, man, yeah.
without it, you really don't know what you have, right? So
Amen to that, man. Love that answer. Very powerful stuff, man. So lastly, just to wrap up this section, and we're on the topic of fear and comparison especially, what role do you think social media and the content people consume, whether that be movies, books, magazines, social media, again, content, what effect does that have on their motivation and even self-confidence and courage to make the changes they want most?
oh my God, it's a lot.
A lot.
Like, everyone has someone they look up to, and whatever that person does, they're like, okay, do you compare your life to them?
Always.
Yeah. Right. For you, it's The Rock.
For me, it's The Rock, man.
For you, it's The Rock. I know we talked before.
Of course.
It's The Rock, right? Like, I just told you he's on juice.
That's my goal.
And that kind of broke your heart. You're like,
a little bit, yeah.
Dude, now I gotta go on juice.
Now I have to go on juice,
right?
Man.
Like, but it's like we all have someone that we look up to, and whatever they're doing, we feel like we're not good enough to do that.
Yeah.
And it's like, if that person's breathing, you definitely have the same thing that person has. You know, like that. The Rock, for example, was someone before.
Mm-hmm. He wasn't The Rock.
He wasn't The Rock the whole time. You know, like, he has 2 eyes, he has a nose, he has 2 legs, 2 arms, and you have the same thing. So what makes you different? What makes you think that you can't get up to his level? You know,
yeah.
That's the block that we have. That I feel like everyone has, right? Like, I can never be like The Rock. Are you kidding me? That guy, what? I can't do that.
It's just this endless stream of success, right?
When you tell yourself I can't, you already failed.
Yeah. The way you talk to yourself is key, man.
That's the biggest thing I've been learning too.
Yeah.
It's like your self, like the dialogue you have with yourself.
The dialogue, yeah.
Right? Like, I can't do this. Right? Like, when it gets tough, I can't. Right? Like, I used to be shy at like speaking.
You're doing great today, man.
Dude, like, this is like over practice, right? I watch a lot of like Gary Vee, Barack Obama speeches. I used to be like this.
Was this?
Like, no, not like this, but he'd be like this.
Oh, okay,
Because I would watch a speech and be like this, and I'll be almost like catching myself. It'd be annoying though.
Oh yeah.
Like, every video I would do would be like this.
You're like, come on, Arsh, yeah.
Dude, like, I'm not Barack. What am I doing?
Come on, yeah.
But yeah, like, you wouldn't know. I couldn't speak in front of people. Like, you know how you do high school presentations? I can't do that.
Oh, that was terrifying. Man.
Like teacher would ask me a question. I'm like, I know the answer, but I'll be there. Like, I don't know.
Oh really?
Just to get away from it.
Just pass it off.
Yeah.
Just because it's lack of that confidence.
It's that confidence, being bullied. I'm like, no one likes me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, so now I had to be careful of the words I choose, how I say it. Do I sound like this? Now you're in your head.
And again, all because of culture around you, right?
It's the culture, right? Like, that's what matters too.
These people, surround yourself with the people who uplift you. Surround yourself with content that motivates you, inspires you. seriously see the impact that could truly make on your life. Just a simple shift.
It's simple, right? But it's hard to make though, right? Like it's simple to say, it's hard to make.
Hard to make.
It's always hard to make. Like getting rid of people. I got rid of a lot of people in my life that were, keeping me behind, that really didn't, put me ahead. I was like, yo, you guys aren't really doing that for me, so see ya.
You got to surround yourself with the people who uplift you, man.
That's
the culture,
it.
yeah. You have to do what you have to do, man. I love that. And again, I think that's a great precursor to jump into our second topic of this podcast, which is why willpower and motivation is a load of BS and what to focus on instead. Now, we kind of touched on this in the first part. So in our culture right now, we're always so focused on these tactics, these quick fixes, all these self-help blogs, and these 25 ways to stay motivated all the time. So my question to you is, what are your thoughts about this idea that the most successful people are always motivated, or the belief that you always have to be motivated to achieve your goals?
That's BS.
BS,
right? Like you're never going to be always motivated. Never. It's never going to happen. Right? Like you got to look at your day to day, right? Like what's your goal, right? Like everyone's goal is going to mean a little bit different to everyone. Mm-hmm. Right? The reason why I work out isn't because I want a six pack or I want to look a certain way. It's more so for my mental health. And yes, that's going to lead to physical changes.
Definitely.
But my goals are different, and that means something to me. Right? I'm not doing this because I'm gonna go party and like do something else. I'm not trying to do that. Right? So my goals are different. So when I lead with like passion, with intention, it makes a difference, right? Like that's what pushes me now. Rather than I gotta wake up at 3 a.m. Like, that's discipline.
That's discipline. That's
like
different.
Discipline is driving me, right? Like I know what I've been doing and it's been working. I feel good. My business is doing well. Why am I gonna take a step back from that? Right? Like of course there's gonna be days where I'm like, man, it'd be good to take a few days off. It'd be good to not even do anything. But I actually enjoy doing that stuff, right? Like to me, like I got into this because I love it. It hasn't changed, right? Like the amount of clients even I work with, like I know every single one of them. I work with every single one of them personally, and that pushes me. That's what drives me because everyone's story is a little bit different.
That too, yeah.
Right? Like, that's what I like. When someone comes in, they share a story with me. Like, damn, dude, like
it hits different. You connect better, right?
Like that's what I like, right? Like that person connection, and it's like everyone's story is different. Like this person was this. They're making or like I'm more into behavior, right? Like why do you do certain things? Let's fix that. Let's work on this for a little bit before we even get into the physical.
Get to the root of the problem,
right? Like and then that leads to your mental, and then we'll work on your physical. But you'll understand how they're all interconnected.
Oh my!
And that's why all of them make changes because of that. Right, so there's foundations that we gotta work on, make those foundations stronger. Now you can build a mansion. Now you could, you have so much stuff that you could do, and that's gonna push you to do more too. So
right there.
So it's always discipline that's gonna get you there. Motivation sparks everything. Discipline drives that all the way to your goal.
There it is. So my question to you now is: are you somebody who's motivated all the time, every day? No.
No, I'm not. The answer is no. God damn it. No.
Amen to that, man. No, as a business owner, especially entrepreneur, and even just doing your own life goals, like it's a lot on your plate and a little bit overwhelming at some point.
Do you know how many times I was like, you know what? I want to find a different job.
Dude, every day, man.
Dude, I'm like, I wish I could have worked for like someone else.
Yeah.
I don't want to deal with this stuff right now.
Yeah.
There's so many days where I'm like, dude, I don't know if I want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Right? But you get through those days and there's always good days after that. And that's what keeps me up now too, right? Where I'm like, this is a bad day, but this is only today. Tomorrow might be a good day.
It's different.
So let me see if tomorrow's a better day.
Just like that.
Yeah, and that's what I look forward to.
It keeps you going again, right? Yeah, and every day is a new clean slate. Everybody's always talking about this willpower. I don't have it, or I can't just control my behaviors. And we always think that willpower is like a muscle. That's what we're taught. The more we use it, like the less we have at the end of the day. So what I want to reference is a study done by Aliyah Crum, and what she did, it was absolutely mind-blowing. She gave two different groups of participants in their study a milkshake that was marketed as decadent, just full of fat and sugar. And then she marketed the other group the exact same milkshake with, low cal, nice and slim. And what they found was the hormone within them, ghrelin, right, which is the hormone that you secrete when you're hungry. In the group that got the milkshake that was, marketed as fatty, very decadent, they actually had more of an increase in ghrelin, meaning the body was saying, we are so full, stop feeding us food. Meanwhile, the other group, the milkshake that was slim, nice and light, they had such low increase in ghrelin because they believed that we need more calories. But again, at the end of the study, or the whole thing of the study is that it was the same milkshake, and the sheer belief that they were eating fatty foods was enough to control their biological processes. So what we need to realize is that the belief that we think that I don't have a lot of willpower, or I just, at the end of the day, I don't have it. That is the reason that we don't take the changes. Just the mere belief that, we don't have it. So what I want to ask you is, what would you tell someone who is stuck in their belief, I can't lose weight, or I can't control my cravings? And how would they shift their belief to get on that path to consistency?
Number one, I mentioned it was dialogue. You already said I can't. You're not going to do it. So I can't means it gets rid of your excuses, right? So I can't. You're already making excuses. Right, so there's I can't because of this, right? So number one, for example, I can't get rid of my cravings. For me, it's like if a client comes in and tells me that, say, hold on, what do we have to do? Why do you feel like we got to get rid of your cravings for you to see this result? That's number one. Right? Why do you feel like that? Do you feel like cookies are bad for you? You feel like you can't have a cookie to lose weight? Right? So there's things that we got to do, but in terms of back to your point. It's with the mindset, right? So if you're already telling yourself I can't, it's like those. I don't know if you heard about those cancer patients that kind of got better by changing their mindset.
No. So
by them telling themselves, hey, I'm okay, I'm going to get better, or watch this, I'm going to beat this. They tend to get better. There's a study I read. They tend to get better because they believe they're going to get better.
The sheer belief.
It's that belief. I'm going to be better. Oh, I'm not. I got a game next week. I'm going to that. Whatever it is, they got better because they believe that they're going to get better.
Simple. It's
just that belief. Now your body is going to start believing in it. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. We just spoke. The cancer patients in the milkshake study, right? Your body follows in suit.
Your body follows in suit. Even though you said it's the same drink, same calories, same everything, your body's like, hold on, what? This is lighter, so that means less calories. I can't really have that. Now you're like, hold on, I'm not going to release ghrelin or leptin, which tells your body that you're full, that you're not really full.
Yeah.
So that's what leads to overeating too.
Again, yeah.
Right? So it's like...
Even cravings, right? You're hungrier, right? That's the thing.
You're hungry, you're thinking about food. Now you're thinking about that one food that you say you can't have. Now, the more you think about it, the more you want of it. Trust me, I've been there.
Oh, yeah.
I can't have donuts, and then I'll be having 2 dozen donuts.
Well, when you can't have something, it just makes it that much juicier, right?
Bro, I'm like, dude, I want to go to Dunkin' Donuts and just get all the donuts.
Screw it, man, yeah.
I don't know if I told you this. On my 24th birthday with one of my friends, we had 24 slices of pizza.
Each? Oh, my goodness.
Because we both turned 24.
Oh, my God.
We were 2 days apart.
Yeah.
We both turned 24. We're like, you know what? Let's order pizza. Come to my house. We'll chill, watch a movie. And we had 24 slices of pizza. But the reason why we had that, the reason why I'm telling you that story, is because we don't eat. Right,
very restricted. Right?
Where we were very restricted, we had 6 packs. We were jacked, and we're like, "Yo, we're not having pizza. Let's do the challenge." And we gave ourselves an excuse because it's our 24th birthday.
Of course, man. Yeah.
All right, so we got to go bake 24 slices of pizza.
Oh my goodness, that's so much pizza, man.
Dude, the worst part was we were watching a movie, Tropic Thunder.
Oh right,
funniest movie, dude. I think I was about to throw up because I was eating it and laughing at the same time.
Oh my goodness, what a memorable birthday!
Bad idea. that I remember for sure.
24 slices, man. Good.
That's something you could tell though, right? You go to a party, you got 24 slices of pizza.
That's a pickup line. That's what I would open with, man. Hey, I ate 24 pizzas. Oh man, I love it. So, okay, we've spoken about why motivation and willpower aren't the best way to attain your goals. Motivation comes and goes, inspiration comes and goes, and the willpower that you believe you have puts you at a disadvantage. And if you're focusing all your attention on these two things, that could be why you're spinning your wheels. So what are we going to focus on instead? Now, I want to reference a quote from Confucius, which is a philosopher, and he said, "It doesn't matter how slowly you go as long as you don't stop." Powerful words. So I truly believe consistency trumps motivation and willpower any day of the week. Doesn't matter. So what do you, Arsh, what do you think the concept about, consistency is more powerful than motivation and willpower?
100%. It's like whatever you could do every single day, that's going to be more powerful.
Small
right?
changes too.
Small change, 1% better every single day. That's what I believe in too, 1% better. Right? If I could do one thing better today than I did yesterday, I'm working towards my goal. You're never going to get your goal as fast as you think you are.
No.
Never. It never happens. You tell yourself you can lose 30 pounds in 4 months. It might happen.
It might happen, yeah.
But don't be upset because it didn't happen. Right? Like, you still got to set realistic goals. But at the same time, you got to understand too, right? Like, there's more to it. There's more to it, but you got to be consistent with it. Don't give up on it because, say, like, you failed one day. Trust me, like, there's a lot of things I failed one day. If I stopped, I probably wouldn't be here.
No.
Like, I would probably, I wouldn't be a coach, I'll tell you that.
No, you wouldn't even be on the podcast right now.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah, exactly. This sick podcast right now.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So, oh my goodness, what you brought up there was absolutely amazing too, because it kind of triggered me, because I remember talking a while back in the gym with you when you were talking about your personal training clients. You don't implement all these things at once, which is what a lot of people do when they go into a plan, right? I got supplement guide, I got meal plan, I got workout plan. That's a lot of stuff for someone to handle. And what you said, I correct me if I'm wrong, but it was always, I always start with one simple change for my clients and build gradually on that. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So how come you do that approach compared to the other?
For me, it's about long term, right? For me, it's about longevity. And it's like, if we work on a lot of things at once, you're going to forget about what we got to focus on first, right? If that makes sense. More
the core focus.
The core focus, right? Like, if we focus on, hey, you got to do this and this and this and this, you're going to be a little bit focused here, a little bit of focus here. You're not really 100% focusing on that. And that's why it's important for long term. Like, all my clients, like, got to their goal is because of that, right? Like, everyone's a little bit more individualized. Everyone's problem is going to be different. Right, everyone that they struggle with is gonna be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Right, like your relationship with food is different than my relationship with food. Right, so if mine like there's times where I'm like, hey, this happened to me, I want to eat all the junk food. Right, like that relationship's not that balanced. Right, for you it's like whatever.
Yeah.
Right, like I could just eat this and I'll be good. Right, for a lot of people it's like, hey, like I feel like shit, I'm gonna eat all this food right now. Right, give me the Oreos, give me the chocolate bars, give me all the pizza. So that's why it's important to build like one thing, get all your focus on one thing first. You got better at this? All right, let's move on. You got better at this? All right, let's move on. And
again, you're focusing all your efforts and attention. So it's like investing, right? If you invest in 18 different things, but just a little bit, you're not going to get a full return. You get a little bit of return.
A little bit.
From everywhere.
Yeah.
Just buy one stock, invest, and go with that.
Exactly. If you focus on one stock, that one stock is going to get better.
Exactly. And you're going to read up more about the company. You're going to be able to invest.
Then you can get a headache because you're like, hold on, let's say you have like 5 stocks. Or I don't know how that works. I'm not really into it.
Yeah, sure.
But like say you have 5, and then one of them does good. And you're like, hold on, these other 4 did shit. So now you're worried about the bad ones.
That's the thing too, man. We're always looking for the bad.
You're always looking for the bad. But hold on, what? This one did good though, right?
Yeah, man.
So when you're happy, you're gonna make better decisions too. So that's why we focus on one thing at a time.
I love that, man. I absolutely love that. So okay, my question to you then is, what are some of the tactics and strategies that you use to continually show up every day to work towards your goals? Like even when you're lacking that inspiration, what do you bring to the table? What do you do to help you?
For me, it's like I got to make sure I'm good first. So for me, it's like the only way my clients are good or well taken care of is because I'm well taken care of first. So that's why I wake up at 3, right? Like that's why I'm disciplined in doing the things that I'm supposed to be doing. For example, like my list is pretty small, like my to-do list every single day. Number 1 on that list is make your bed, right? And then I move on to journaling, right? Like gratitude, affirmations,
absolutely.
My goals. I'll look over it, what I have to do for that day. Because every day is a little bit different with my business. But I make sure I work out, meditate, stretch, whatever first. So that way that's already out, right? A lot of times it's hard when in the back of your head, I still got to work out. I still got to cook my meal. I still got to do this, one more thing. Now that's all you're thinking about. So if you don't do it, you feel like you had a bad day.
Yeah.
Now you feel like those bad days piling up. Now like, all right, what's the point?
And then
you're going to give up. So for me, it's like the small steps, like in the morning especially, because I feel like everyone's still sleeping. I'm doing my thing. I'm already done my stuff, right? Like when people are already not even waking up yet, that right there makes me feel good. Feel like, okay, I'm powerful, right? Like, and that gets my day off, right?
Yeah.
Right. And then I have time for my clients. I do lives with my clients, right? I'm like, yo, what's up, dude? Like,
yeah.
I call my clients like once a week, right? Like I'm messaging them every single day, making sure they're well taken care of, right? So that environment starts with me. Because I know, like, if I'm not doing those things, my clients ain't doing that.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
You gotta lead by example too, right? So that's what I do.
I love that. And what I taken away from your answer right there is this overarching principle of self-care, self-love. Like, be selfish. It's okay to say, I need time for me. Right?
You have to.
You have to.
It's like say if like you have kids, right? Like if you don't take well care of yourself, how are you gonna expect them to do that same thing when they're older? Because all they see is what you do.
Amen.
Oh, if you're putting your health like second, say something happens, now you gotta focus on that, right? Instead of, I wish I could have done this.
Yeah.
I wish 20 years ago I could have probably started working out, or probably, like go to losing 20 pounds, instead of being here. Everyone wishes that, but once it's too late, they wish, right? Like, they're like, I wish I did this, but it's too late.
Take care of yourself now.
Take care of yourself now.
Powerful.
Even if you feel like you're never ready for it, we're never ready for anything.
Never, man.
Never.
Whoever's telling you that, lying.
You know how many times I want to push off my business? I'll start next week. Oh, I'll start later. I'm like, you know what? I'm starting this right now.
No, you have, yeah.
And then it was like M-Balls thing. I just like created this, started my business. I'm like, I'm doing this right now.
That's so funny, man. You know how many times I tell my parents, like, when I'm just struggling with my business revive, I go, you guys can have the company. I'm selling the shares. You guys have it. I'm done. I don't want to do it. Yeah,
They're like, hold on, this is nothing right now. What do you mean sell this?
Yeah,
right? Like,
man.
But it's so easy to like give up like that, because you're like, man, it's not doing well.
It's so easy to
I
give
could
up.
have gone, like, it's like having like a safety net.
Yeah.
Something goes wrong. Okay, I got this.
Yeah.
I got plan B, I don't have a plan B or a C or whatever. I don't. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously, if I know this is it, this is all I'm putting my energy towards. That starts with you, though, right? If your energy is not here, your clients are never going to match that.
No, man.
So you got to lead by example.
Fill your own cup up too as well.
100%.
Powerful stuff. I love that, man. So what I want to dive into now is the quick fix era and diet culture that we all live in, and how it's ruining our motivation. So I love your posts, man. So I'm always looking at your stuff on Instagram. So what I want to reference is a reel that I saw you did a while back, and it was, I'm vaguely remembering it. It's why your diet isn't working, and that was the title of it. And you mentioned it was because of shiny object syndrome. You remember that one?
Yeah.
So can you just walk through our listeners right now what shiny object syndrome is, especially in relation to diet, fitness, and health?
Yeah, so it's like starting something. Like, say you started a diet because you're like, okay, this might work for me. And then you go do it, and they're like, oh, I lost like a pound this week. And you see someone else do something. They lost, say, 4 pounds this week. And I go, ooh, what is that person doing? Ooh, that's shiny, dude. That's something over there shining. And that's going to catch everyone's attention, right? You're like, ooh, what's that? Do you see that shiny thing right there? And I'm like, what is that person doing? So that's the shiny object syndrome, right? You forget what journey you're on, and you focus on someone else's journey. That person's journey, they might have tried like 20 diets before, or different workout programs, or maybe it's their first time going into the gym, or even training. When you're a beginner, you know how fast you lose weight?
Oh, newbie gains, right?
You know how fast you put on muscle too?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I wish I started working out now.
Easy, yeah.
Ooh. Dude, like, that's what I mean. That's the shiny object syndrome, right? Like, you think you're there, but you don't know about that person. You don't know what stage they're at, right? So that's why it's like, focus on your goals, understand you're good. Everyone's progress is different.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Same as like everyone's body's different. You're different. Mm-hmm. You're 23, dude.
Youngster.
Like, I'm like 27. Like, yo, like my body's different. Like my parents are different.
That's true, man.
So it's like everything else is gonna be different.
Yeah.
So you can't compare and like, be like, oh, that person did this. Okay, I'm gonna go to him.
Yeah.
Or your podcast is killing it. Yo, I'm gonna start a podcast.
Yeah. And even still, like, even if you're just bouncing around that frequently, you never stay long enough to actually see the results, right?
Yeah.
So, like, a lot of people, instant results. But just if you just stay that extra month, 2 months, you never know, right? So I want to ask you is, what impact and influence do you think this approach to diet, health, and fitness, what does it have on people's motivation and confidence as they go through program after program, goal after goal, without seeing results?
Do you mean like what approach like they have from like jumping from program to program?
Yeah.
That number one, they're just gonna be spending a lot of money.
That's a big one
right?
too,
Like,
man.
Like number one, you're gonna be spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of time, thinking, okay, this works, so I'm gonna try this. When you could already figure out what works for you, right? Save yourself that time, and like this is what's gonna work. And a lot of people, like when they really don't understand, because everyone's body's a little bit different, right? Your metabolism is gonna be a little bit different. Certain factors are a little bit different. You have the way you handle with stress, your certain behaviors. We could go on, but there's things that's going to be a little bit different, right? So understanding that, then we can make changes, right? So it's like having a plan that's going to work for you, rather than, oh, I saw this works for this person, so let me do this, and then that works for a little bit, and then you say you gain the weight. Now you're going to try a different program, try to make sure that weight stays off.
Yeah.
So see how you're hopping program to program to program. It's not ideal, and that's not what I recommend. That's why my program's a little bit longer. Because then we get to take them through different techniques and teach them. Like, hey, this is what happens when this happens. But when your metabolism shot, which it's going to be, when you stop losing weight because you're going to, then this is what we're going to do. We're not going extreme. I'm not going to bump up your cardio. Like,
no. Cut more calories. No.
Cut more calories. Like, come on, we're not doing that. Like, some of my clients eat more calories. Some of them eat 3,000 right now.
And they lose weight.
They're losing like a pound a week.
Crazy stuff, man.
They're like, yo, Arsh, what the hell's the secret? I'm like, did I give you anything? Like, I just told you to eat more.
That's it, yeah.
That's it. Obviously, there's certain stuff, right? Like food wise, training wise, to increase intensity, whatever, right?
Sure.
But nothing really changed from that sense, right? Like, it's understanding everyone's body too, right? Like, and that's why as a coach, that's your job, right?
Tailor it, yeah.
So make sure everything's tailored towards you, dude. One program for everything. I have clients that are with me for like 3 years, 2 years. I have a client that's been just started, and they already signed up for like 12 more months.
They just know that this is for me.
It's been 2 weeks, and like, this is for me. Let's freaking do this.
That's beautiful,
I'm
man.
like, all right, let's go.
Let's do it. Absolutely, man. I love it. So you work personally with clients, again, which is fantastic. So you have that firsthand access to them. So what would you tell your client and our community listening right now, how to navigate this quick fix culture and to avoid that blow and that hit to our confidence, our motivation, inspiration?
Number one, man, like, you got to understand yourself, right? Like, you got to understand what triggers you, what makes you tick, right? There's a lot of stuff out there. Like, I feel like we're just going through, like, everyone has social media. The first thing you do, right? Say you're sitting alone, let me go on my phone. Instantly, right? Oh, this person, look at this TikTok. This person, can I have this? Can I eat this? I'm like, hold on, what? We're not doing this type of workout. We're not doing this type of eating, right? Like, everyone's a little bit different, but it's the same thing, right? Understanding you, that's number one, right? I feel like not a lot of people understand that.
They're just going through the motions because what everybody else is doing.
What everyone else is doing, right? Like, there's certain, like, say for example, like I'll use an example, like squats. First thing they do is go under the bar, like barbell back squats. A lot of people don't really have that mobility or do a hip hinge, right, to get like a proper a squat in order to feel in their glutes, their quads. So we incorporate front loaded squat, goblet squat, front squat, whatever it is, to make sure they're activating certain muscles. But see how that's more dependent on the person?
True.
To understand, hold on, how does your body move?
Yeah.
The way I walk is going to be different than the way you walk.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
and even still, like, you're not just, telling them, here's a 20-minute booty workout, right?
Yeah.
You're saying, okay, let's, try to tailor towards your strength and build that skill incrementally over time.
Yep.
So it's not quick fix. It's let's actually sustainably make this a habit, a good behavior. And again, we're so conditioned with this, the Wi-Fi, instant Wi-Fi, Uber delivering stuff to your house in minutes. And we're just so primed for this instant gratification, and it trickles into our health and fitness. And I believe this is why people fall off their plans, right? They're not seeing the goals. They're not seeing the results that they want as fast as, an Uber driver would drop off their McDonald's. So what would you tell someone who isn't seeing results as fast as they hoped? And what would you tell them to keep them inspired and passionate about their goals?
Like, look at what it does for you, right? Like, say, for example, obviously working out, see how it makes you feel after. Like, what happens, right? Like, say if you have a good meal, well, how does that make you feel? Do you feel less bloated? Do you have more energy throughout the day? Like, those things, that's what should be in the back of your head. And that's what should push you more rather than, did this make me lose a pound? Did this make me do this? Why am I losing only a pound this week? Right? Like, those are, like, not really, you know, like, the goal that you should chase. It should be about how you feel afterwards. Oh, I feel good today. My clothes are fitting better.
Yeah.
Like, why does it have to be, oh, I gotta fit this clothes by end of this week or else I failed? Why? Why are you putting a limit to it, right? Like, why are you putting a time to it?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's the same thing with eating, right? Like, if you eat too much, you didn't eat too much in one day to get fat.
No, over time.
It takes over time.
Yeah, years.
Right? Like, and you expect to lose weight how fast? Like
30 days. That's the
30
average
days?
program right now. 30 days. Yeah.
How are you gonna expect to undo all of that in 30 days? Right? So it's like changing your approach, changing your mindset. It's gonna make the process a lot easier. But it's something that you got to focus on every day, right? Like, I don't skip my morning routine.
Always do it.
I have to. I feel, even though I feel good today, I'm still doing it.
It sets the precedent for the day. Yeah.
I have to.
I have to.
I don't do it when I'm feeling bad. I do it too when I feel good.
Yeah.
But that's what's gonna make me feel good, like, every single time.
Even it just enhances that, right?
It's like you're jacked, right? Like, why do you have to go to?
Sure.
You're jacked. Why do you have to go to the gym? You're already jacked.
I just like it. Makes me feel good.
It makes you feel good.
Yeah, I get I love it.
Right? And that's what should push you. Not like, oh man, I gotta get my biceps like 20 and
I gotta go to the club later. Yeah, I gotta get my pump.
I gotta get this pump in real quick, you know?
Oh man. And I want to touch on what you said in your answer, where you said, you know, how's your mood? How's your your bloating? And I think a lot of us get so tied up in that weight. We're looking at the fat, but you're focused on that. Meanwhile, you don't know you've eliminated inflammation. You don't know that, you know, you've just increased your energy, or you've slept through the night for the first time.
Or your skin's glowing, or
your skin's glowing,
or this is happening, right? Like, people notice, right? Like, yo, you look skinny today, or you look good today. Those are compliments, right? Like, that should make you feel good. Not like, oh, the number is giving me, you know, this or right? Like,
the number's lying to me,
the
right?
The number is just a number. You know how many my clients gained weight but lost inches?
They're building muscle, right? That's the thing, too.
That's what you should focus on. Don't focus on the weight. The weight's just a number. I tell my clients to check their weight once a week. That's just for me to make sure where we can make progress or adjust certain things.
Of course.
But, like, if we don't have numbers, if we don't have certain things, we don't know if we're making progress, right? Of course we need it, but it's not something you should, like, obsess over.
Love it.
Right?
I love it. So, okay, we've talked about how clients aren't seeing results as fast as they want. So let's take it on the flip side. Let's imagine someone who has been patient. They're doing everything right. Their weight loss plan has just been to a T followed, yet they haven't seen results. What would you tell them to kind of navigate that scenario?
Like, what do you mean? Like,
let's just say a client of yours, you know, we're going to work on these things for the next 3 weeks, okay? They're to a T, they followed it, but they go, you know what, Arsh, like, I just haven't seen any progress. What would you tell them to keep them inspired, keep them motivated, or even just navigate that situation?
that's a good question. I don't think I ran across that yet.
Wow, you got good results, eh? Ladies, listen to that.
No, I'm being serious. I don't think I ran into that. Yeah, I don't think I ran into that where it's like 3 weeks where you haven't seen anything. I don't think I've ran into that problem, but if there's something that you're doing and you're not really seeing anything, like nothing's coming out of it, your skin's not glowing, you're not feeling more confident, your clothes aren't feeling better, then there's something that you're doing wrong.
Adjust it.
Then you gotta adjust it. You gotta fix it. That's what it comes down to, right? It's not so much say like the scale didn't even change, the inches really didn't change. There's something that's going on that you're not doing.
Don't keep doing the same thing every day.
Don't keep doing the same thing, right? Yeah. Remember what the definition of insanity is?
Doing the same thing every day
and expecting different results.
Expecting different results, dude.
Like how do you expect a different result if you're doing the same thing?
Gotta change it up.
You gotta change it up.
So again, it's even trial and error. Just see what works today, what works tomorrow.
And then what works, do that.
Do that.
Freaking do that.
I love it, man. Powerful stuff. So, ladies and gentlemen, Arsh Dhindsa on the show. We are so grateful to have him today. So, Arsh, is there anywhere that, you know, people can connect with you, they find you if they, you know, really love what you had to say today?
Yeah, so you can follow me on like Instagram, Humble Iron, Also Instagram, Relieve Online Coaching. It's called @RelieveCoaching. So the whole goal of Relieve was go pain free. So come in with the pain and leave pain free. I had a lot of people come in with like self-confidence issues, bloating, inflammation. A lot of females deal with PCOS, hormonal issues, all sorts of problems. And I want to like say even weight gain, trying to build muscle. And that's why the term relieve with like pain free. So that was my mission, and making sure like we came across that. So TikTok, Humble Iron, IG, Humble Iron, Relieve Coaching. That's where they could actually find me.
Beautiful, man. So, and ladies and gentlemen, last year, just to put in perspective, 110 people, he has helped lose 15 pounds and 3 inches in just 16 weeks. You could probably be next. So, Arsh, thanks for coming on the show, man. We really appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you, man. This was fun.
Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, this was the Revive Effect. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. All right. Thank you so much for listening. I'm so glad you stuck around to the end, and I'm so grateful that you took the opportunity and your time to spend it here with me at the Revive Effect. So if you like what you heard today, please, I ask that you share this podcast with somebody who needs to hear the information. Or even if you did like it, please subscribe, give us a like, give us a comment, even email us and tell us what you liked about the podcast. We appreciate you so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard today, again, don't be afraid to visit our website, RVIVE Official, reviveofficial.ca, to learn more and keep up with all the latest and greatest things that we are doing today. If you are someone who is feeling insecure, they're unhappy, unhealthy, and stuck in fear, I've created the Revive Effect and my company Revive in order to transform you into somebody who is the fitter, healthier, happier you, who is more confident than they've ever been in their entire lives, and who is driven and hungry for growth every day and actually wakes up energized and happy. So give a look over to our website, because that's where you're going to find all the latest and greatest information and tools and resources in order for you to attain that and make that vision of yours a reality. So I'm Matt Celestio. Thank you again for tuning in. We'll see you in a couple weeks here on the Revive Effect podcast.